what I wish I knew before I started horse riding, to be honest, you don't really need to know very much. You don't really need to have anything. I really think when you are starting this new hobby, people tend to disagree with me on this, but when I truly think that in order to start horse riding, you do not want to throw loads of money into it, because it is not as simple as you think. You could sit on a horse and you could be like, oh my God, I hate it. Because I remember the first time I sat on a horse, it felt so wrong, so different. My balance was all off. It just it didn't feel as natural as what I was maybe thinking it was going to feel. So I think sometimes you can go into horse riding maybe with a little bit of an ego and think, right, okay, this is going to be so easy. I'm going to be able to do walk, trot, canter straight away. And sometimes that is just not the case. I know people who haven't been able to trot straight away. I know people who haven't been able to canter straight away. I am one of them. And I guess even just walk off a lead rein. People sometimes need the comfort of knowing somebody's holding on to you. So I guess that is something that I would want to tell anybody who's wanting to start horse riding is, do not compare your horse riding journey to anybody's, because we are all on completely different paths. And if anybody's going to try and tell you like you should be at this part in your journey, then they are not the right person to have in your horse riding journey. I've heard that a couple of times because, like I say, I have struggled a lot with cantering a horse. My confidence wasn't really there. I was very nervous about it. I fell when I first done it, and it really created a block. And a lot of people said, well, you should be doing this by now, and all of that. And it can really put you down. It can really make you feel as if you're failing, and you're really not, because what you struggle with somebody else might not, and what you might not struggle with somebody else might struggle with. And we are all on different journeys, and we cannot judge each other about it, because it really doesn't matter. As long as we are enjoying the hobby, it really doesn't matter. So that's the first thing. Do not put pressure on yourself at the start, because you do not know how it's going to go. You also need to remember that you aren't going to trust the horse straight away. It's just not going to happen. It's really impossible, especially when you don't know what horses do. It has really took me nearly 3 years to feel confident with the fact that I have a good idea, a good understanding what horses are going to do, what's going to trigger them, what their certain ear movements mean, what does it mean when they have their put their head up. I have a good idea, I would like to say, on a lot of it, and I'm still gonna learn. I feel like you will always be learning different cues for different things. Um, so just know it is going to take time, and trust the process. This is one of the things that people disagree with me a little bit on, but I would say that you do not want to go out and spend loads of money on outfits, hats, boots, because you could sit on this horse and just not like it. When I first started, I didn't have boots, I didn't have a hat. I went in my gym gear, and especially at the start, because I would like to think you're not really going to be doing much at the start. You're really just getting the feel of sitting on a horse. And I can remember that moment like it was yesterday. It just felt weird. So I would not have liked to have bought and spent a lot of money on stuff, just because I might not actually enjoy it. So the schools that I went to provided the boots and they provided the hats. People do disagree with that a little bit, and I do get it, because sanitary reasons and people falling off, people say that they don't replace them. But I would like to think that if I am going to a school, and I would like to think that they are checking them hats regularly, making sure that they are up to standards, because that's their reputation on the line at the end of the day. They don't want you to fall and sue them, basically. So yeah, I'd like to think that that would sort of be okay. I get it why people will say buy your own, but they can be quite expensive for you to just use it once. One of the big things I would like to share is the fact that it is okay to say no to things that you do not feel comfortable with. And maybe if you do say no and the instructor says, oh well, come on, we can try this, it's also okay to listen to them and be like, right, what is it they're saying? Is it me being scared and I am capable of doing it? Because that's happened many a times when I just have been a little scared and I'm like, I can't do it, can't do it. I've just needed that little pep talk from the instructor and I've managed to do that. That's absolutely fine. But I think sometimes you do know in your gut when you aren't actually ready to do something, and be firm with it and be like, no, I do not want to do this. There was a time when we went out on a hack, and it was the first time I went out on a hack, and the horse that I was on was normally really chill, and then out in the field it wasn't, and it frightened me a little bit. I had just started cantering at this point, and I didn't want the risk of something bad happening and me losing my confidence. So I just said, you know what, no, I don't want to do this. And everybody was fine. Nobody made it obvious if they were judging me. The instructor was absolutely fine with it. She said, right, you come with me, and they cantered off and it was absolutely fine. If they want to judge me in their own time, then that's on them. But I know in that moment I was safe and I felt like I'd done the right thing. You can sometimes kick yourself a little bit afterwards and be like, oh, I wish I'd done that. But it's fine. We live and we learn, and I think it's best to be safe than sorry, because I do sort of wish when I first cantered that I probably said, I don't think I'm ready for it yet. But I think that had a lot to do with experience. I didn't really know what to expect as well. So yeah, it's all about a learning curve and just going with the flow. And maybe I was meant to fall off in that moment to be where I'm at now, you know. So there's also that. I really try my hardest to not dwell so much on past experiences. It's very difficult, but I try and move on very quickly from a difficult lesson, a difficult ride, and they're gonna happen and they're gonna keep happening. It all depends on your mindset, and you have to learn to let go of the bad and try and concentrate on what went good in certain lessons as well. So yeah, I think that is basically it, maybe, on everything that I would sort of, what I would like to know before I started my horse ride. The one thing that really scared me a little bit before I went my first horse riding lesson, I was so scared that I was gonna be judged for being an adult, and that was completely not the case. Over the past few years, more so when I've went to groups, there's so many adults that are still joining these classes that I'm going to, and it's a great way to sort of make friends, find people who have the same things in common. And if you go somewhere and you just don't feel like that's the right place, then that's okay. We aren't going to gel everywhere we go, but you can find somewhere else. There's so many around. I would like to guarantee that if you don't like one, there will be another one that you can definitely try out. So trust your gut, know that it takes time, really don't put pressure on yourself, and just learn to sort of go with it, not overthink it, because there's so many things that I could sort of share, but just know you aren't going to be judged. And if you are judged, then that's definitely on them. That is not on you. We all learn different, and as long as you are enjoying it, then that's all that really matters. So yes, that is all I really have to say. If you have any tips or things that you wish you could tell your younger self before you started horse riding, then I'd love to know. So leave a comment. We can sort of share this experience together, and we can all grow together and really be supportive, because I know the horse community, the equestrian community, can really get a bad name for itself, but it's up to us to change that and support each other. And it's a great way why I do share these videos, because it helps I think grown adults, mothers, know that they can start something new like I did, and there's no shame in that, there's no harm in it. If anything, it will make you a better person for it. I truly believe that. So thank you so much, guys, for watching, and yeah, I will see you again soon.